November 19th, 2026. For years it felt like a date that would never actually arrive, but the clock is officially ticking down to the most anticipated launch in entertainment history. We are entering the final chaotic stretch of GTA 6 news, leaks, and high-stakes rumors. Today I'm taking a massive deep dive into everything that has surfaced over the last few months in terms of GTA 6 news and rumors. But before we get into all of these different things, we need to talk about the most important thing overall, making sure that you actually have the game in your hands on day one without getting ripped off. With a game this big, pre-orders are going to be absolute chaos, with the prices of the GTA 6 pre-orders already going live at $79.99 for the standard edition and the ultimate edition being priced at just shy of $100. If you are yet to pre-order any of these editions, you might want to try these things instead to save you a few bucks. My top recommendation for this is to actually use a website called Loaded, which was formerly known as CD Keys, and it is really straightforward. Instead of pre-ordering the game itself, you want to pick up some gift cards from here instead. Doing so will actually save you some money. Obviously, just make sure that you choose the right platform that you're on. Pick up a couple of gift cards and redeem them on your platform as well. That will be tip number one for pre-ordering GTA 6. Honestly, all things considered, I think it is a pretty solid tip, but this next one might be a little bit different. If you guys play on Xbox, you might even be able to take advantage of your Microsoft rewards. As you'll see in this screenshot, someone actually did this and essentially got GTA 6 completely free by cashing in their Microsoft rewards. So yeah, if you guys are planning to play this on Xbox, definitely look at the Microsoft rewards. You might have some unclaimed ones, and even then you will be able to get a little discount, obviously depending on how many rewards you have. Not only does this apply to Xbox with the Microsoft reward system, but you might even have some Amazon gift cards or something like this. It is always worth checking just in case. You might even be able to get a really nice deal on GTA 6 pre-orders. Now, let's talk about something that's actually causing a bit of a stir in the community. If you're a collector who loves having a physical box on your shelf, you need to be aware of how Rockstar is currently handling the physical release this time around. There is a lot of evidence pointing towards the fact that even if you buy a physical copy of GTA 6, there might not actually be a disc inside. Supposedly, Rockstar is doing a code in the box instead of the disc. At this point, Rockstar have actually gone and confirmed this, hence why the community is in uproar. I don't know about you guys, if you are active on Twitter or X, you have probably seen people saying that GTA 6 will actually get a disc just a few months after launch, probably around December. I don't know how true this is at the current time because Rockstar have really been quiet, but I don't really see a reason for them not to include a disc at that point. Obviously, for those of you guys who do not know why Rockstar are doing this initially, it really comes down to everyone being able to play at the same time on the midnight launch. In the past, if you guys got a disc pre-order, you would typically have to go home at midnight, put the disc into your console, and then download it, which of course probably lost you a few hours of game time, and apparently this is the sole reason Rockstar want to do that. I also believe Rockstar might have done this to prevent different leaks at the same time. I still think it is very frustrating. If people want a disc, I think that Rockstar should definitely let them. It's not like you guys can't just get the digital version anywhere, and having a disc means that if you guys don't like the game, you can go ahead and sell it, unlike a digital version. I'm sure many of you guys have your various opinions on this matter. Do you think GTA 6 should release with a disc straight away no matter what? Or are you quite happy with the digital versions or in the box code? Make sure that you guys leave a comment below. It is also worth noting before we move on that this code in the box version will be able to be installed on November 12th. I believe this is the preload date where you guys can start installing your pre-orders ready for November 19th. Alright, so you've got your pre-order strategy ready, but do you actually have the hardware to run GTA 6 yet? The closer we get to November 19th, 2026, the more expensive it's becoming to be a gamer. We are seeing some unprecedented moves from the big three right now. First up, let's look at Xbox. There has been some major reports recently about Xbox increasing the price of the Xbox Series X and S consoles starting in August. When I was browsing through Twitter, I saw a lot of people very frustrated about this, especially coming so close to GTA 6 when pre-orders went live. Just a few days later, Xbox do announce this. I don't know who in their right mind is getting the Xbox Series S, but just shy of $500 now. I still remember when this released, and it was probably one of the best ways to get into the next-gen console, or at least the most affordable. Based on these new Xbox prices, I could definitely see PlayStation probably following suit not too far in the future. I believe they already did increase some console prices, so yeah, already it's not really looking that good. And to actually talk about PlayStation now, apparently some Sony executives have said that they do not intend to sell PlayStation hardware at significant losses, and that they are carefully monitoring the market to evaluate their approach. So they've probably seen Xbox's price increases and are probably really close to jumping on the bandwagon. I would genuinely not be surprised. At this point as well, it also appears that PlayStation do have some really in-depth marketing with Rockstar themselves. You guys have probably also seen this when, for example, watching YouTube adverts or even just TikTok. It looks like these adverts specifically do only promote buying the PS5 version, and PS5 also have this tag where it says plays best on PS5. As of right now, we don't know how true that statement is. If anything, the PS5 Pro is probably the best place to play GTA 6, but at the time of this video going live, we are yet to see any real in-depth gameplay on GTA 6, especially on the various consoles. The final thing that I want to mention in this section, which is broadly just out of the scope of the section itself, but it still relates back to the console prices in some way, is that several RAM manufacturers have been sued in a class action lawsuit for allegedly fixing prices and restricting supply, which of course resulted in the increased prices of memory across various industries. If you guys have tried to build a PC in the past recently, let's say for example 1 or 2 years, you will have noticed how much the RAM prices have costed, which in turn will also affect the consoles. So yeah, altogether just a horrible situation recently for gaming. Hopefully with this class action lawsuit against these manufacturers, things do eventually settle down, maybe over the next year or two. Another reason for that price increase is due to AI, and it really just affects the whole market in general. Now that we are finished talking about these horrible price increases, we have to have a small look at how Rockstar is parodying the modern world. We've seen the social media clips and different phone apps from the trailers, but there is a much bigger corporate entity lurking in the background of the latest screenshots. Meet Sahara, the GTA 6 equivalent of Amazon. As you will see in this screenshot from GTA Wiki, a Sahara skyscraper can be seen in a GTA 6 screenshot, which is apparently based on Miami's Brickell Arch Tower. Supposedly this was intended to appear in GTA Online's Mansion DLC, but was replaced with nowhere. So yeah, I think this is really cool to see. Shout out to the community for realizing this and actually spotting it. I love it when GTA Online and GTA alike make their sort of parody versions of real life companies and businesses. It's the same with the cars and different vehicles that we see. I always thought that was a really cool thing. It really makes GTA what it is. Arguably the biggest question on everyone's mind is performance. With the November 19, 2026 release date, a massive debate has broken out over whether consoles can actually handle Leonida at a high frame rate. For months, people have been speculating that GTA 6 would be locked at 30 FPS due to the sheer density of the crowds and complexity of the lighting. However, I've come across a screenshot that suggests Rockstar is taking a page out of the GTA Online enhanced version. Apparently there is a rumor going around that GTA 6 will launch with 2 different graphics modes. If you guys have got the enhanced version of GTA Online, you will have already seen this. Essentially a 30 FPS quality mode and a 60 FPS performance mode. Apparently this claim comes from a Polish podcast called Rock and Boris, which apparently says that they spoke to sources close to Rockstar, and apparently it looks like they are sort of credible based on previous claims. Also, according to the rumor, if the 60 FPS mode isn't ready for launch, apparently Rockstar does plan to add it in a post-launch update. Just like any rumor in the GTA sphere, I would definitely take any of them with a pinch of salt. Don't take this for granted or base it in complete fact. We will only find out about this if Rockstar do tell us, or for example the consoles tell us this. I expect information like this to come out more when we at least get some gameplay on the consoles. When we do eventually get gameplay, it shouldn't be too difficult to tell what sort of FPS it looks like. Obviously, the quality of the game and how it looks is bound to be astonishing, but yeah, based on this rumor, I don't really see a reason why Rockstar would not want to do that, or if they can do that, I'm sure that Rockstar definitely have the ability with their engineers to make GTA 6 run like this. What do you guys think about that rumor? Have you guys seen anything else on that in terms of performance? I could also see that the PlayStation 5 Pro being the only console to run at that 60 FPS smooth performance, or maybe who even knows, running a quality mode at 60 FPS in the future. We will just have to wait and see. I recently posted a short about the no disc rumor, and the comments were explosive. Some of you out there are saying no discs, no purchase, which I completely get. So I think there is no better time to talk about the ownership versus license debate that GTA 6 is by no surprise bringing to the forefront. A huge chunk of the community feels that if you only have a code in the box, you don't actually own your $70 or $100 investment. If, for example, the servers go down in 10 years' time, your GTA 6 copy goes down with it. On the flip side, as some of you pointed out, a game this size would most likely require a few discs. Now, I don't believe that is fully the case. I believe GTA 6's file size could definitely fit on a disc. Then again, discs are typically just used to download games nowadays. So yeah, altogether, I do think there is two ways to look at that. I still think there is a massive benefit to having a disc and actual physical copy, especially something to look back on. I still have my old GTA 5 copy from way back in the day on Xbox 360, and I'm sure many of you guys out there have that as well. With all of this news about 60 FPS modes, the Sahara delivery, and the November 19th launch, the million-dollar question remains, should you pre-order GTA 6 right now, or should you wait? This is a huge decision, especially with how the industry has been lately, so let's weigh it up. On one hand, waiting for the first wave of reviews, or even day one patches, is typically the safe way to play it. We have seen over the past few years some major titles launch with a wide range of bugs, and if you aren't bothered about playing the second the servers go live, there is absolutely no harm in seeing how the performance mode actually holds up on your specific consoles first. For example, different YouTubers doing different benchmarks, seeing how the game looks compared to each other is, in my opinion, never a bad thing. However, Rockstar is making it very hard to sit on the sidelines. There is a confirmed pre-order bonus for anyone who secures their copy before November 20th, 2026, just one day after launch. It will be the Vintage Vice City pack, which includes the 55 Vapid Stania, the Shore Court Garage near Ocean Beach, exclusive Vice City inspired outfits and hairstyles for Jason and Lucia, and a tropical weapon pattern inspired by Tommy Vercetti's iconic look. If you're a fan of the series' history, missing out on this might be a huge regret once the community starts showing them off in-game. And obviously the Ultimate Edition will unlock you a bunch more things, as you will see on screen, and a lot of people actually had a lot to say on this, because there is different clothing items, clothing shops, even mod shops for vehicles that are seemingly only available for the Ultimate Edition. Now, I think this comes down to your preference and really just weighing up the options between the Standard Edition pre-order and the Ultimate Edition. But based on the Ultimate Edition and what it includes, do you think it is worth the $20 or so extra? It is also worth noting there that the Ultimate Edition content unlocks progressively throughout the story, which might also be a cool feature. I believe that was in Red Dead Redemption. If you want my advice, if you know for a fact that you're going to be playing this game on day one, don't wait until the last minute when all of the digital stores are lagging. Maybe even use that loaded gift card strategy that I mentioned earlier to lock in your funds now, or even use some of your different gift cards that you already have, and that will allow you to secure the Vintage Vice City pack and potentially all of the Ultimate Edition content if you get that version for the November 12 preload. You get the bonus items, you avoid the launch day server stress, and you're ready to play the game. Something else to think about in terms of pre-orders and gameplay from GTA 6. Apparently this is sort of a pattern from Rockstar. For GTA 5, for example, the pre-order date was November 5th, 2012, a gameplay trailer was on July 9th, 2013, and the release date was September 17th, 2013. Roughly around 2 months before release, we got some gameplay trailers. So hopefully this is sort of similar this time around with GTA 6. Obviously, sooner than later is always better. Then again, I guess it also keeps the hype around the game. Obviously, when the pre-order thing dropped, there was a huge amount of hype, and I guess that will slowly die down over the next few months, and then Rockstar will probably just drop a gameplay trailer, or even trailer free with some gameplay in it. The last thing that I do want to get into is some rumors about GTA 6 Online. A few days after pre-orders went live, we got sort of an insight on GTA 6. On this screenshot, it says, does Grand Theft Auto 6 have any multiplayer modes or features? And underneath it, for the answer, it says Grand Theft Auto 6 is a single player experience. In reality, this might not mean anything because GTA 5 actually came out in a similar fashion. If you guys remember back all them years, the online mode was roughly released just a little bit later on in the game's life cycle, and I expect GTA 6 to have a similar sort of feature in terms of this. Hopefully, I'm not just coping with that, because who even knows, Rockstar might even make GTA Online a paid experience. Let's all hope that is not the case. With the news about GTA 6 having no physical disc, at least for the present time, it looks like PlayStation are actually following suit with that. Very recently, PlayStation did come out and say that physical disc production for all PlayStation games will end on January 2028. Apparently they do say physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be completely discontinued starting on that date, and the whole gaming community and even wider community went absolutely crazy about this, and I think it is completely valid. First of all, from Tom Henderson, who says that he's always been excited about the next generation of consoles, but this time he feels incredibly numb to it all. The constant layoffs, price increases, and now no physical games. He apparently has no desire whatsoever to even learn about what's next, let alone part away with yet more money. And I think this is generally everyone's concern about these next-gen consoles, and even just updates recently from the console side of things. For example, after GTA 6's pre-order news and the lack of a physical disc, following that, Xbox increasing their prices, and now very recently PlayStation saying about discontinuing all physical discs in the future, it really does look like we will be earning nothing. At the same time as this PlayStation news, apparently Xbox is working on a disc to digital feature that would let those with the physical disc copies secure a digital version of the game, and Charlie Intel also says Xbox is also likely to stop disc production in the future. So it looks like this is really the future of gaming, having no discs whatsoever, and potentially not even be able to use all the games that you already purchased. Now of course there is some massive problems with this, which we will just get into now, that originally I did not even think about. First, here from GTA News or RockstarIntel.com, no borrowing games, no second-hand reselling of games, which is probably the main point, and also not owning your game. The number one version on a disc, it will all be in Sony's hands, and we of course gain nothing. Another big reason this could be really bad is the fact with digital games, for the most part, you will need to have an internet connection to play them. I think this really just depends on the game and the developers, or even the consoles. But hopefully that is not the case, because that would be a nightmare. Imagine if your power went out and you could not even play any games or anything like that. To wrap this segment up, I do think if Xbox, or at least the Xbox rumor, is true about allowing people to use a digital version of the games that they already have, I'm still not sure how they would manage to do that. But if they do get around to doing that, I think that is the best way, or at least best scenario for this. If that is not the case, just imagine, because if you do have a bunch of games on disc, you would most likely have to purchase them again to play them, at least in the future. And let's also think about places where you guys can buy physical games from. For example, over here in the United Kingdom, CEX, and of course in the States, GameStop. That used to be a massive market back in the early 2010s, and PlayStation pulling this move will put a massive dent in the market. What do you guys actually think about all of this information on PlayStation stopping the physical disc production? Do you think it is a bad move or a good one? I still think digital games are actually really good, but I do definitely sympathize with both sides. The final segment that I want to cover is about the Rockstar Games developers on GTA 6. Apparently the employees are claiming some staff are woefully underpaid. There is a lot of crunch, and Rockstar is apparently weaponizing bonuses. If this is the case, it does sound very awful. I really hope these developers get what they need, especially working on a game as big and promising as GTA 6. But anyways guys, that will really wrap it up for all of these different news pieces centering around gaming and even GTA 6. Let me know what you think in the comments below on any of these different points. There was quite a lot of them to go through, and if you did make it to the end of the video, make sure to leave a like. I always do appreciate the support, and if you are new here and like what you see, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.